On Sunday, September 11, 1988,
Jamaica experienced the worst hurricane on record to date, Hurricane Gilbert. And with Jamaica, and more specifically, the city of Kingston, being the place it was, vivid and activity-filled.
people were in New Kingston, enjoying themselves as Kingston at that time was the hot spot. Everybody ignored the weatherman at the time, Roy Forrester's forecast that Tropical Storm Gilbert had strengthened to a Category 3 hurricane, and it had Jamaica in its crosshairs. The following day, September 12, 1988, it was purely destruction.
There's the eye of the storm, which had disappeared earlier today, but now it's back. And look at it go across Santo Domingo right there, boom. And there's Port-au-Prince in Haiti right there, watch it. And boom, so they got nailed tonight. Now, Jamaica's in the firing line. The thing is moving west at 15. It's about 300 miles away from Jamaica. It'll be about midday tomorrow before it starts.
So in this video, we'll be talking about the devastation and destruction that Hurricane Gilbert left behind. On September 12, 1988, Jamaicans then started to take the hurricane very seriously, and they awoke to the reality that Jamaica was about to be clobbered by this monster hurricane, which had just exited the African coastline on September 3rd, and it had developed by then into the 12th tropical depression of the season on September 8th on its approach to the Windward Island. So now everybody was concerned, and Jamaica would in fact receive the full brunt of Gilbert's force. So there was instructions to expect that the eye would pass over the island. So warnings were issued. The wind and rain will cease, they said, but that will not be the end of the storm, so be very careful. By near mid-morning, the electricity was cut off, and the country awaited in fear.
This is the first sight upon arrival at the Kingston airport, one of many calling cards left by Hurricane Gilbert. The entire island is devastated. Electric poles have been uprooted as if they were mere twigs, and thousands of homes have been ripped apart. Many here have begun to dig through the rubble of what's left. Others who have nothing, the homeless, have taken refuge at the National Arena. Entire families desperate for help.
The children are without food from morning. All the cackles washed away. All the furniture is gone. That is where we have to sleep.
This is your home now?
Yes.
And I'm really worried. And I don't have nowhere to live.
And there is leaking too.
Nowhere at all to live. Nothing.
So it made landfall on Jamaica's eastern tip at approximately 9 a.m. and it was packing winds of nearly 130 miles per hour as it ravaged the entire island. Official data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration shows that Gilbert claimed 45 lives in Jamaica. The monster cyclone also destroyed hundreds of homes and infrastructure, downed electricity poles, and wiped out crops and livestock. Extensive flooding was also reported across the island as Gilbert produced storm surges of up to 19 feet and dumped more than 32 inches of rain on the country. The damage was so devastating that the Prime Minister at that time, Edward Seaga, after an aerial tour of the island, said that the country looked like Hiroshima after the atom bomb was dropped on Japanese city in World War II. The total damage was estimated at $4 billion.
Your bully beef full of me structure, cup full of bully beef, full of bully beef.
Singer Lloyd Lavinder did the beloved Wild Gilbert Hurricane Anthem song, which went viral within days and was one of the fastest rising songs nationally, and it sold over 200,000 copies.
This take off like flying saucer. The roof migrate without a visa. Bedroom full of...
Gilbert took a total of over 400 lives across the wider region, including the United States. The overall damage from the hurricane was around US $10 billion regionally. Overall, there was some $500 million US in damage that was estimated across the local agricultural sector, including a virtual wipeout of the banana industry. Significant looting was an unfortunate feature of the passage of Hurricane Gilbert. There were daily lineups at ice factories and bakeries where they had to ration the food, and this occurred for weeks. Over 600 persons remained in official shelters in January 1989, almost 4 months after the passage of the hurricane. There was also a huge and noticeable baby boom some 9 months after Gilbert left. It was estimated that more than 800,000 people sought shelter before, during, and immediately after the hurricane. A 1-month state of emergency was also declared for St. Thomas, St. Catherine, and Kingston and St. Andrew. Gilbert also struck during the local pier season and destroyed everything. Leaking or blown off roofs were typical features of the hurricane's aftermath, of course. 90% of Jamaica's health facilities were damaged at that time. Gilbert's eye measured 15 miles across.
Yes, Kingston getting it. Kingston the first player, but the country has become last. Nobody consider them the country.
So the people of this small mountain hamlet are just gathering what possessions they have left, waiting for help, and assessing the damage.
Hard hit this. Very hard.
Forced to go it alone.
Why Gilbert want to come in on me room? We sweep out song with me broom. The liquor dog.
Hurricane Gilbert made landfall on the east coast of Jamaica as a Category 3 hurricane, but later intensified into a Category 5. For many Jamaicans, it was the first real experience of the true might of Mother Nature. After September 12, 1988, the lives of Jamaicans would never be the same. Hurricane Gilbert packed winds of 175 miles per hour and had an eye that measured 40 miles wide. No section of the island was spared. Gilbert accounted for a number of lives and left hundreds of people homeless. Emergency shelters, those not destroyed by Gilbert, were overcrowded. The winds from the hurricane lasted about 12 hours, and the entire island was out of electricity. There was wide-scale flooding and massive food shortage. In the aftermath of the hurricane, some of the desperate masses looted businesses. Police reports at the time indicated that more than 50 million worth of goods were looted, with only 2.5 million being recovered. The island was out of electricity, and running water was a luxury, with some sections of the island getting access to these essential services months after the hurricane passed. The estimated cost of damage from Gilbert was $800 million.
I'm meteorologist Mark Mancuso, and on this day in weather history, September 14th, 1988, Hurricane Gilbert made landfall on the island of Cozumel and then Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 5. Its second time making landfall after its eye completely passed over Jamaica 2 days earlier.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, walk good.